Hey everyone, Tenkenstein here. In this video I'll be going over the three major things coming with the new power update that are not vehicles. These things are Battle Pass, the gameplay changes, and graphical updates. I'll be giving a brief overview of each of them and then my opinion on how each of them will affect the game. That opinion is grounded in 7 years of playing this game, so just keep that in mind. Just so you know, I will release a Battle Pass explain video sometime tomorrow if possible, once I do get my hands on that feature, being that I expect new power to come out tomorrow, November 17th, so I can give you all the details on how it actually works, where to find everything on it, and how to use it. Not just what they tell us in the dev blog, as I will mainly be going over in this video. So if you are interested, definitely subscribe or search for it tomorrow, again, November 17th. Now, while this video today is an overview / my opinion of the big new power features, my Battle Pass explain video tomorrow will be my unbiased explanation of what it is and how to use it. I won't be making any opinion videos very often, and this video, for probably the first time in dozens of videos, will not be scripted. By this video, I mean the one I'm making right now. I don't want to be one of those people that just talks over gameplay, because to me that's just too easy and does not help the community. My videos, aside from this, typically take 5 to 10 hours to make, and I'll probably just keep it that way, as I find that those probably provide the most use, rather than some people who draw out their videos that are 15-20 minutes long. It's just them talking again over gameplay. That said, let's get into it. So for Battle Pass, this is a feature that Gaijin will be introducing and will be costing 2,000 GE or Golden Eagles for 75 days of Battle Pass time, or if you'd like, 2,500 GE, and you'll immediately unlock the first 15 levels. That's basically $16.50 USD at current rates. It'll offer titles, decals, war bonds, silver lions, premium vehicles, and more for those who complete tasks and play more often than they're currently playing now, basically. There are a total of 75 normal Battle Pass levels, and you have, again, 75 days minimum typically to get them. They may have longer Battle Pass times in the future, who knows. And a large portion of those rewards are going to be free and things that you can earn without purchasing the Battle Pass. And I've linked pretty much the entire tree of things that you can earn below. That said, how will it affect you and how do I feel about it? Remember, tomorrow will be an unbiased explainer video going over everything. And this is now the part where I kind of tell you how I perceive it as someone who's been playing this game for the better part of a decade. So when I initially heard about Battle Pass, which to be honest with you was a few days ago, but it was cemented earlier today as being a definite feature of this new patch and really just going forward. I can't imagine that Gaijin will get rid of Battle Pass ever. I was actually really excited. And one of the main reasons was because I heard, or at least misread, that it was 500 Golden Eagles, and that was really cool, right? Like 30 or 75 days of awesome rewards. It's kind of like an advent calendar if you're a Christian, or something like a new reward that you get every single day, or whatever, right? Just for playing. And I thought for $3.30, it's only a few cents a day, awesome. But no, it's not 500 GE. It's actually 2,000 GE and 2,500 GE, so it's a 500 Golden Eagle difference. That's where I kind of heard the 500 Golden Eagles. I thought that was the total cost, not the difference between the regular and the improved Battle Pass. And basically, they're just giving you that 15 days, the first 15 days for free. So kind of like a head start, which is cool. I get it. You know, may as well go and do that and get free rewards. I mean, that gives you several 100,000 silver lions, and again, I've linked all the rewards down below, and I will have my explanation video again once that gets released down below. So just if you watch this on the 17th, look at it down there. But that being said, it's just they have a lot of free rewards, and I feel like if they didn't have a lot of free rewards, I would actually be quite upset with this, because you're talking for every 2.5 months now of gameplay, sometimes maybe a little bit longer of gameplay, maybe like 80 days or 90. I can't imagine that they're going to be putting out seasons, less frequently than 75 days. They gave that to be the minimum, but I can't imagine it'll be any less frequently than that. The way that it is just all this premium time. First, you're paying for premium time, or they're asking you to pay for premium time. And now they're asking you to pay an extra $16.50 based on how current Golden Eagles are every 75 days. And That to me is a little excessive. I really wish that they had done the Battle Pass. I thought that they would have separated themselves a little bit from, I don't know, PUBG, for example, or Fortnite, and kind of made it a different example. I know I used to play a lot of PUBG, and their Battle Pass was heinous. It was just ridiculous. You got nothing of use. I mean, in this, at least you'll get really useful things. In PUBG, it's just all aesthetic stuff. In this, you'll get usable things. You'll get in-game currency. You'll get vehicles, which I'm really excited for. The Super Corsair, I'm so stoked for. And the T10A, I'm so stoked for both of those. Seriously, I'm getting Battle Pass day one, regardless of how I feel about it. But if it doesn't live up to expectations after first season, I'm not going to get it again. It's just one of those things where it's like, why should I have to pay $16.50 on top of my current premium pass in order to really fully get all the fruits from this game? And you know, the free rewards are excellent. And again, if they didn't have nearly as many free rewards, I'd be really disappointed in Gaijin. And it's cool because they're just adding these for people to get. And you can still get thousands or hundreds of thousands of silver lions, more war bonds than before. All these things, I mean, they're just giving people free content now, which is awesome. But by getting Battle Pass, just the Battle Pass moniker, they're linking it with every other game that has Battle Pass and every other negative experience that comes with Battle Pass. And to me, Gaijin is kind of like, or War Thunder is kind of like, this is it. This is like my holy throne of games. This is the game that just doesn't get messed with too much, you know? Gaijin has done a pretty good job of, despite all the complaints, all the vocal YouTubers, all the vocal commenters, people asking for this, that, and the other thing with every patch, Gaijin's done a pretty remarkable job of just improving this game. Adding more content when needed, adding more features, for the most part, not necessarily all the time, but for the most part when needed. But this just kind of, adding the Battle Pass for the price that it is, I feel is a bit excessive. I wish, I mean, if they charge less for it, let's say $10 USD equivalent, fine. You know, like 1,500 Golden Eagles. Like charge 25% less, right? Or a third less, and then maybe 1,500 Golden Eagles for the improved Battle Pass. I'd be fine with that. Like, that would be awesome. I just feel that it's a little expensive for what it is, and, you know, all players are going to benefit from this regardless. I mean, Gaijin would not have been releasing this content. They would not have been releasing these 4 new vehicles, the 2 tanks, the 1 ship, and the Super Corsair. They wouldn't have released it without Battle Pass being the impetus. And I don't know if a lot of people really think that. I feel that way. I don't feel that they would be doing it. And if this kind of accelerates their content release, especially with cool planes, for me, I love the Super Corsair. I've read about it for years now. I feel that if this kind of helps them accelerate, especially if they're giving a lot of stuff out for free, cool. You know, like, that's really cool. But it's just one of those things where I wish that they charged a little bit less, because now it gets to a situation where we have a game that I love and so many people love, partially because of the historical value and how much care they put into these vehicles and everything to go right with this game. And then they're making it into more of a, it feels like more of a money-making operation. And I get it, it's free to play, this is how it is. But make it less like PUBG and make it, I don't know, it just, they did it just right enough where I'm not really all that upset by it. But the fact that they did it and they're charging as much as they are, it's a little upsetting, to be honest with you. But they did it just right enough. They're doing it right for the most part. It's just how they're implementing it is okay, but the fact that they're doing it kind of sucks. I kind of wish that they never did it, because now I won't have this kind of thing in the back of my mind being like, okay, I'd almost rather live in ignorance of this. And, you know, it's just one of those things. Maybe I'm being a little selfish here. I mean, again, I'm going to be one of the first people to get it. But at the same token, I don't know, maybe this is going to draw people away. But that being said, let's just get into the other parts of it. Let me know what you guys think about Battle Pass specifically below. So that being said, with that awkward transition to the gameplay changes, well, let's get into the gameplay changes. And I'll make this one short because this one really isn't as big as I think as Battlepass was. Battlepass, I think, caught a lot of people off guard, and the gameplay changes are still huge, but Battlepass, just as of today, is really stealing the show for this new update. So I'll just kind of start at the top here. I mean, you now have hit effects on armored vehicles, so you'll now be able to kind of see permanently where your armored vehicle gets hit, and it'll depend on the diameter of the shell hitting it. So a 50 cal is going to look different than a 105 going through a tank, and I think that's really cool, and it'll show on burned out tanks. So not something that's too crazy, but hey, maybe it'll tell you, man, there's like a big tank lurking around and trying to kill someone. Maybe I should kind of lean back a little bit or stay back. Next up, we have illuminating shells, which basically are just flares that'll kind of come down over the battlefield. I think that this is really cool. They've been hinting at this for a while now. If I'm not mistaken, you might be able to drop these from planes, but also it looks like it could be AI artillery, which will be shooting them time to time over various areas, which will be giving a kind of a real big gameplay change. It'll be making night maps partially usable for those who haven't researched night vision yet. So I feel like that's really cool. It's kind of like a partial daytime sort of effect. And, you know, heck, I'm all for it. You have the shadows from dynamic lights. This is something that people with upper end graphics cards will be able to benefit from more. I don't really think this is all too big of a deal, but it's really cool because it'll make the game look way better than it did before. And something that, you know, again, I'm really excited for, just because, hey, you know, I actually just got a new computer and I think that this will look really good. You know, my videos are higher quality now, so why not have this be part of it? Next up, we have effects on grass, which basically is just, if you've ever shot a gun, for example, like a big enough gun, you see the grass moving. It's kind of the same thing, just with cannon shells. Just suspiciously less grass movement from cannon shells than some of the guns I've ever fired in my real life. So I don't know, maybe they need to kind of beef it up, but it's still cool. And then finally, I think one of the biggest changes in gameplay right here is Burnout vehicle towing. This is something that we'll be able to make for dynamic cover. So let's say if you found a mouse and somehow you can tow it. I don't know if they're going to have in-game, like, realistic weights on burned out vehicles, if they'll weigh like a percentage less, if they'll all be set like a certain weight. Just burned out vehicles are like, let's say 10 tons or something. But let's say if you have a mouse, I mean, burnout vehicles are now permanent. So you destroy them, they are permanent. You can create choke points now on maps. You can create dynamic cover, improvised cover, so on and so forth. And I think that's really, really cool because this is going to change, in my opinion, ground battles substantially, at least on the upper end levels. So where people kind of know better about what they're doing, this could really protect people a lot. I think that this could be one of the hidden game changers for new power, and it's just something that they're kind of announcing outside of just the dev server today. Then we also have the bending and vibration of wings. So if you play aircraft, this is pretty cool, but it's more just how it looks. It's just, I don't know if this is going to impact your wing brake speed or just G-forces breaking your wings, but pretty cool. Then, you know, we also have some more graphics changes, so on and so forth. Hit marks on the environment, again, it's kind of similar to hit marks on tanks, but more or less those ones that I mentioned before, like the burnout vehicle towing and the the illuminating shells, those are kind of the big gameplay changes right now. There will be some other ones, but aside from Battlepass, that's pretty cool, and I think that those are going to affect a lot of matches, not just like 1 or 2 out of every 20 or 30 that you play. But this might affect like 20, 30, 40% of the upper end matches, especially the illuminating shells, for people who don't have night vision. And finally, for graphics, I basically touched on this with the gameplay portion of this that I just went over, but I feel that this is something that's actually really important because it's not just the graphics, but it's how people feel that it will affect their gameplay and their computers. So a lot of people, and I've been seeing it in the forums, posts, all that, people were really concerned about this. They thought, hey, maybe my computer can't handle it. Maybe I'll have to buy a new graphics card. I don't have the money for a new graphics card, a new computer, even worse yet. But the way it looks is that, at least with their deep learning super sampling technology, and this is at max quality, and they use it on the RTX 2080 Ti for both the 4K from before and now, but you're getting almost 50% more frames per second with this new deep learning super sampling, and it looks better too. So it looks like they're making this game much more efficient graphically, which should also help to take out some of the bugs that we would have in game due to graphics. So you might be able to actually go into this patch with higher frames per second, even if you're using a somewhat older rig. I know I just got a new computer, and I kind of wish I'd gotten the 2080, but I didn't, or the 2070 Super, but I didn't. Stupid me. But it doesn't really matter. I don't think it will, because I'm getting around 150 frames per second right now on max. I feel like I'll be able to do that perfectly well with a new update, and it'll look better too. So really, hats off to you guys, and if everything that you're promising is true and correct, then we might be able to enjoy this patch better than we did last patch and have it look way better. So awesome job. Either way, this is Tankenstein signing out for tonight. I know that this is a long ranting video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, enjoyed my perspective. Listen to my perspective, for the people who listen to this whole entire thing, and watch the gameplay too. Thanks so much, guys, and be ready for my explanation video for Battle Pass tomorrow. Either way, thanks again, guys, and I will see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.